Hello everybody, Olga today with you. In this video it's a short update how the things happening in Ukraine, how people is living right now with this energy crisis and what is actually staying behind it. So as you know, recently Russia started hitting the infrastructure to keep people without electricity and all the things which is related to electricity. For example, you are walking every day on the street and you just hear the sound from generators. Every shop, every restaurant, coffee shop, supermarket, pharmacy or whatever, they for sure try to run their business. They cannot shut down and not work at all because they have employees, they need to do business, they need to earn money, so they have generators. And once you are walking everywhere on the street, you have huge sound from everywhere from generators, and this by itself is sounds very crazy. If you will imagine that there is one, two, but if there is everywhere and everywhere, this is really sounds very crazy. So this generator sound is the one thing. Another thing that after it's getting dark, you will have no light on the street, you will have no light on apartments, and you will have no lights anywhere, and even the signals are not working. So imagine Kiev, which is 3 million people, compared to any city where you know that there is 3 million or even 2 million people living. Imagine how could be life once you are getting out and it is total darkness. You need to cross the huge highways, the streets which used to where the cars used to stop for the signals, and you can cross the street. Now there are no signals, now there are no lights at all, and the cars are driving carefully somehow, but still they cannot rely just on their light because people can cross from any possible way, and this is super dangerous. And even once you are driving in such a very, very dark city, you are not always able to recognize exactly where is the intersection, where is the things happening, because it is super dark, super dark. So all that is now very depressing and very hard, because imagine that you cannot even plan any business. One of the biggest industry which was bringing Ukraine a lot of money, which was IT, now they're not able to work. Another thing which is also very crazy, once the light is disappearing, there is no mobile connection at all. So you cannot call anybody on mobile. Mobile is not working. So it's not just no internet, but normally you cannot call. And this is for sure making people more crazy, because you are not able, you are cut from connection with all the world. So even if you have another family member, you cannot call to him and ask him where you are, did anything happen, are you okay coming to home. Imagine how for parents who has their kids out and whose kids is getting out somewhere, you totally have no idea what is happening with this kid, where is the total darkness and no connection. So that is things you cannot imagine that somebody can live in Europe in 21st century like that. From another side, there is a couple of cities like Kiev, which is in very bad situation, mostly in the central Ukraine or around Kiev areas and so on. Other parts of Ukraine, like for example West Ukraine, like my native West Ukraine, I have a lot of relatives and friends, so I can talk about that, which is always was considered somehow the most safe and reliable. Also, they don't have electricity and connection. It is for shorter time, and we have more less level buildings, so many people maintained having gas and some kind of heating, but not everywhere, not always. And people usually have half of the day without electricity, but there are some kind of schedules, so you can at least plan your day that you will not have electricity and what you need to do on that time. But still, for example, when there is no connection on mobile at all, my friends, for example, they're not taking their kids to school and they're not taking their kids to kindergarten because they want to know that if anything happens, they can receive a call. And if they see that they cannot receive call, they prefer to keep them at home just in front of their eyes and feel peace than bring your kid outside and don't know what will happen, and know that nobody can even connect with you in any kind of disaster. So most of those houses and apartments, they don't have gas at all. So once you will disconnect electricity, you will have also no heating, and people will not be able to cook food by any means, because they cook also on electricity. This is first thing which is so much affecting the lifestyle, especially nowadays in Kiev. They don't have electricity for 9 or 10 hours a day. So almost the whole day when you should do something, you don't have electricity. And one thing, it's if you are normal person, adult, and you are living alone, you can cook something for yourself aside and later eat it or whatever. Think about kids who is, for example, in formula, or kids who is having milk but they drink it their moms store it in the freezer, for example, and they need to defreeze it and heat it. Just normal small kids who is not really eating normal food yet, and they need always hot water and all kind of like things related to it. So that is disaster actually for families with the small kids. Even families who has not such kind of infants, it is still disaster for them, because kids need to eat more often than adults can eat once a day, and that would be fine, but kids cannot eat once in a day. Then in Kiev, in high-rise buildings, also water is connected to electricity. So once electricity is disconnected, there are no pumps working, and so you have no water in apartment at all. That is another critical thing, because living totally without water, it is very complicated, right? And I guess everybody will agree, because this is cooking, this is washing, this is having shower, going to toilet, and all other things. So water is very, very important, and you cannot bring this much water which will cover you all the household needs. It's not just for drinking, like drinkable water. You can bring a couple of bottles, but for cooking, for shower, for washing, for toilet, this for washing clothes also, don't forget that you also need, especially again the one who has small kids. This is a big disaster. The third thing which we have, this is elevators are not working. And imagine we have a lot of older guys or moms with the small kids who has also strollers, and we don't store strollers anywhere down. We always store them in our apartment. Imagine that they need to walk every day to the floor number 20 or to the floor number 25, and I'm sure that for so many people that would be so much crazy. And you need to walk more than one time a day, because somebody need to come to work, somebody need to go to buy some medicine, somebody need to buy some food, bring water, and again you need to bring water with bottles, and bottles is huge. And don't forget that a lot of families don't have men, because they are somewhere fighting, or they're anyway engaged in military, and they're not at home present. So all this fall on the woman's shoulders, all these crazy things. So this is, guys, how the things nowadays in Ukraine, what is exactly staying behind life without electricity. It's a big disaster for so many people, for elders, for people with newborn kids, for families with kids in general, for IT professionals, for any kind of factories, for so much, a lot of different business types which cannot run. Even the small coffee shops, they cannot run without water at the end. So if it is just no electricity, it could be handled, but no water, it's a big disaster for sure. Okay, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you get to know something new. Write me in the comments if you has more like feedback from people from Ukraine, how is life there, and if you had experienced anything like that by yourself. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Bye bye.